right, I'll get started, and you guys can get to see me in my nice polo shirt whenever this becomes available. Cool. So welcome all to the new influencer marketing, the influencer marketing webinar that we're putting together. Thank you guys so much for making it out there. If you've been to our other webinar, welcome back. If this is the first one that you're doing, welcome. A little bit about Push Talk and what it is that we do. We're a TikTok focused music marketing company. We help artists market their music on TikTok or through TikTok. A little bit about influencer marketing, which we're going to jump into in a sec. I'm sure that you guys have heard of influencer marketing being one of the hottest trends in the music business overall. 1 second. All right, so now you guys can see me as well. So that's cool. And then we're gonna go back into sharing this, and hopefully you guys can how's it going, everyone? So yeah, music marketing, influencer marketing specifically in music has kind of exploded in the last few years. We've gone a long way from having an influencer on Instagram post our stuff and just kind of like give us a small shout out to the world of TikTok, which if you've been to the other webinar, relies heavily on trends and mostly relies heavily on context of your song. So other people putting your song into context, which really leads me into the next thing is, what is influencer marketing? Essentially, influencer marketing is a referral to your song. It gives context to your music in the sense of somebody presents a song, third party, for example, not like you as an artist. An influencer presents your song to their followers and to their fans and to the overall community on TikTok. And by doing that, they provide context to your music. They can create a trend, and there is a conversation that's happening. Is it an ad, really? Maybe, maybe not. Influencer marketing, I kind of like to look at it as two components. One thing that you're purchasing from the creator, or getting from the creator, is the fact that they are creating a user-generated piece of content. We'll talk about that in a second. And the second thing is you're approaching this influencer because they have been creating on that space and have garnered some sort of following. So you're trying to also tap into their reach. So not just their content creating abilities, but also the reach and the audience that they've already built. So why would you want to market through influencers? So creators or influencers can help contextualize your song to the community in a way that an artist might have a more difficult time doing. By doing so, they give it a framework. For example, if an influencer starts a dance that gets replicated, that very first influencer or very first few influencers that are doing that trend basically give that sound a framework which other creators can create content that is similar to that. But what does that mean? It means that TikTokers are already in discovery mode. That applies also to creators. So if a creator sees a piece of content out there, they might just hop on it. That's how your song becomes ubiquitous on the For You page. Just in case that like ubiquitous is like a big word, I know, but it's really kind of like all encompassing. So that way a person can scroll on the For You page on TikTok and end up hearing your song once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, because as unfortunately, people don't always gravitate towards a song the first or second or third time. It might take them a few times that they hear the song before they really get addicted to it. The song can grow exponentially through these creations that happen, and then that happens through replication, repetition, and ubiquity on the platform. So we talked a little bit about UGC, and really I just want this, I want to get this kind of like over with as fast as possible so we can get to asking our panelists some questions. But what is a UGC? We just kind of want to get that out of the way. A UGC is a user-generated piece of content. Essentially, any TikTok that was created by other people, we like to refer to as UGC, but also anything that your artists have made using that sound is a good UGC that you can use to contextualize a song. Influencers can stimulate other creators to create more UGCs for you and for their fans. Hence starting a trend, which we talked about a little bit. So your goal with influencers is really to generate as many UGCs as possible, not just views. So like when you're looking at different influencers and influencer marketing strategies, think about the replicable a replicable framework that you can put in front of these influencers or put in front of these creators, or actually get from these creators and kind of try to replicate that. A few metrics that you always want to watch out for when choosing an influencer, or an influencer agency might be choosing for you are daily creates. This is by far the most important metric that people look at when they do a deep dive into an influencer campaign. So how many user-generated content is created per day? That is the algorithm of TikTok. When they look at a piece of music, they look at that daily create rate more than anything else. They also look at breakout videos, so very specific videos that were very successful on the platform. They'll look at those as well. For example, if you had a video, last week we talked a little bit about games we play, for example, who had a breakout video with one of their songs, and because that video had that song attached to it, what happened is people started hopping on that sound and started really diving deep into that breakout video and into the song that's attached to that breakout video. Average views, always a good metric to look at. Basically, how many eyeballs do you get in average from every video that is created? And then not most importantly, but very important, is engagement. It's almost as important as daily creates. If you have a lot of engagement on your videos, you are likely to get more daily creates, which also count as engagement per creation. So you got questions, we got answers. We also have some questions from TikTok that we got from a video that we posted, but I'd love to present to you Sierra and Mason. If you guys want to pull up your videos, you're more than welcome to, so that our audience can see you. What's up, Sierra? What's
Hi.
up, Mason? Mason,
What
by the
up?
way.
What up?
Oh yeah, I was like, you're muted, man. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Rodeo didn't make it out here today, but would love to hear from you guys a little bit about your backgrounds before we kind of like ask some get some questions from the audience. Is that cool?
Yes.
Cool. So Sierra, ladies first.
Okay, so I started TikToking when it was free. So I just would make funny videos like any other kid would do, and a few of them got a lot of views and a lot of likes. And I was just thinking, what if I just keep posting? And it got around 2019, my sister's birthday, actually. I will never remember. I hit 1 million followers. And it just kept going up from there. I started getting brand deals, promo deals, and it's just been a wild ride. But it's mostly been to help other people in the same type of way. But I don't want to like grow my platform to like be famous or be on TV screens or whatever. Like I want to help people in the process. So that's a little about me.
That's awesome. Hopefully, you can help some of the artists here, or the people that are watching this later, to kind of get some of that knowledge.
Oh, definitely.
Hell yeah. Mason, tell us about your journey as a content creator.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for being
So
here, man.
basically, it all starts like 2019. I was still in high school, and like TikTok was like low-key kind of still like a joke. And so like all my friends were like, let's have a competition, see who can go viral first. And they like totally blew me out of the water and like totally popped off. And they were like doing dancing videos, so like people really loved it. And it like integrated really well with like song promos and different things. And so they did really well. And then I was like, all right, I need to step my game up. So I was doing like comedy lifestyle stuff. And then I pivoted recently, like what kind of content I was doing, and now I'm doing like talking to the camera and like doing stories about like creators. So that's kind of like my journey so far, and I've worked like both on like the brand side as well as like on the creator side. So it's been pretty fun.
Nice. That's awesome. That sounds that sounds like a very weird trip for both of you guys.
Just a
Um,
little.
Same here, by the way. Like I got a job like in 2018 that was TikTok adjacent almost. And that's how I got into it, because I was like in the studio with people like Churdleys every day. Um, so we would just, and for those of you who don't know, Churdleys is a pretty big Instagram influencer, then later on TikTok influencer. But yeah, we would hang out with like massive early day TikTok influencers. Um, and then we had a pretty big deal, a marketing deal with TikTok specifically, in early 2019, and I was just like blown away, but like by like, yeah, it was kind of like low key joke almost, but shit, like the amount of response that we got through TikTok was just mind blowing. Um, I'm gonna jump into some questions here, um, that we got. What do you want to know, when you're getting into a collaboration with an artist? So, like, let's say an artist pitches you a song. What do you want to know? Like, what are some like initial questions? Obviously, besides like the how much they're gonna pay, and how much their budget is, but like, what other things do you want to know?
What they intend to do with their music. Like I don't want someone's music to be like, I hate this and I hate that and just negative. If it was more positive, I feel like it'd be a better song to put out into the world.
Cool, that's awesome. What about you, Rizzo?
Yeah. So usually like when I think like the conversation starts about like a song promo, there's usually like a middleman. But I mean, I'd love to like talk to the artist and like see kind of like what their goals are in life and like where they want to take their music. Um, is usually like pretty valuable information, and like building a relationship with them is pretty cool. So
That's awesome. That's good to know, because like most of the like Mason kind of, um, like said, like most of the song promos that are going out today are run through like a middleman, whether it be a manager or a marketing company. By the way, like usually, like Mason, do you work with like directly with like like music marketing agencies, or do they approach do you have a manager?
yeah, I've worked with like directly with like the agency.
Cool.
Never directly with an artist though.
All right. Interesting. And then Sierra, I know, works with a manager that is also in the music biz.
I do.
Um,
Great. He's amazing. He gets me promos and I'm like, okay, let's do it.
that's awesome. That's great. Um, so like do you like getting creative direction from artists, or do you feel like they should let you just do your own thing? How do you approach, like, let's say you get a song promo, kind of got a few words about the artist, you kind of have an idea about the artist, the song. Do you like it when the artists give you creative direction? Would you rather just like do your own thing?
I feel like having your own thing is very important because I've had some promos where they had a brief and I followed the brief and then I sent them a draft and then they said to change this and then sent another draft and they said to change that, and I felt very controlled. But I feel like it's nice to have like freedom to also do what your audience likes as well. So it's nice to have your own type of vibe in there as well.
Cool. That's interesting. What will make you say, wow, this is like a fun project?
Oh gosh, when I probably get the promo and I see the brief and I say, I'm gonna do this right now. I don't want to waste any time. I'm just gonna do it right now. And it sounds like I just want to jump out of bed and do it.
That's cool. Mason, same?
I would say for like a fun project, if it's like a popping audio and like you start like the trend around it and like kind of help incubate the song. And I think like it's important to just let like creators create, like that's like their job. And so like the more you just let them create, it'll integrate better with their page. So that's how I kind of feel about it.
That's a great point. And a lot of what I do is like sometimes I have to like artists will come to me and they're like, well, they should like do a transition at this second, and like this is how the creative should look. And I already see the eye roll here from Sarah, and I'm like, yeah, bro, like if you know how to do this, like why don't you have like 2 million followers with your fucking dance videos? Pardon my French. But cool, that's a great point. And if you guys ever had like a have you guys had like some creations that you worked on that the artist just like came back, like went back and forth like way too often, and like just was like hammering you about the creative?
Oh yes, too many times.
Okay.
And
How,
it's mostly brands though as well, because they want you to wear them in specific videos or do this in a specific video. But no, promos have been almost the exact same.
Yeah, I would agree.
interesting.
I would agree. Definitely more on like the brand side. I remember one time I was ordering like a chicken sandwich and they're like, make it look appealing, but like the sandwich did not look appealing. So I don't know like how like they wanted us to transform their product. But yeah, like music wise, I would say, I mean, so.
Maybe put some googly eyes on the chicken sandwich, make it look appealing. I feel like everything with googly eyes looks so much better.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
a bad idea.
I have googly eyes on my Nespresso machine. I feel like Nespresso should pay me for that idea.
Heck,
I'm gonna have to do that. I love Nespresso.
just have a whole TikTok page of you putting googly eyes on stuff. I would totally watch all those videos.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go start it right now. Shit.
Woo!
Yeah. Cool. So what advice do you have for like artists who are trying to create content? You guys are content creation experts. Mason, I've like noticed your videos are very like fast cut, like with a lot of good captions. Like what kind of advice do you have for artists trying to create content?
Yeah, I would say like the biggest thing is just like being consistent and like showing up every day and like just posting is like the biggest thing I would say, because so many people will start and like 3 months in of like daily posting, they'll just like give up. But like if you really want to like grow, like you should be posting a lot and like for a long time. I think like a lot of people have been in like the game for like years now. So it's like you kind of just need to like start posting and like really commit to it. And it's like a full-time job almost. Like you have to put like a lot of your time into it. And then also like understanding like the algorithm and like how watch time affects your video and stuff is helpful as well.
Cool. Um, Sierra, what kind of like niches are you like what kind of niches are you looking at when you going like when you go and create a piece of content? Do you look at a specific niche? Or like do you look at just like, cool, I'm just gonna create whatever kind of comes to mind creatively?
I think I say what kind of comes to mind because some of the audios are like really serious, but then I turn it into comedy, or it'd be great background music for like a makeup video or dancing or anything like that. So I've like always been myself in my videos. So I don't really follow trends. I start them if I'm, but yeah, I kind of just be myself, and people like to see truth instead of faking and following other people.
Nice. I really I get so the first two things you guys said, like the what Sierra said about authenticity and what Mason said about showing up, like that speaks to me to the heart of TikTok. Like if you show up as yourself on TikTok often and consistently, I think that's like a surefire way to win every time. Um, and like it's been proven to work on the platform, just like you got to compete with other people, and it's very difficult to put on a face every time and come off like authentically, because TikTok definitely rewards authenticity a lot. um, do you charge indie artists more than like would you charge more from like a label, or would you charge more for like an indie artist, um, or like less from an indie artist? What are your thoughts on that?
I usually charge just the same amount because I know that each person that makes a song is like trying to follow a dream that they're looking at, a goal that they're trying to reach. So I don't charge more or less. It's just like, okay, we'll call it even. This is what we get.
It's cool.
Yeah, I would say the same. Sometimes if like the song is like really bad, like maybe charge a little bit more because like it'll like affect your page a little bit. Um but I don't know. I would say yeah, I mean like just like keeping it fair to everyone is like a good rule of thumb. And then sometimes also like you can tell like if like a brand has like more budget, you're able to charge a little bit more. Um, but yeah, I would say like keeping it fair with everyone is a good idea.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, if Gucci comes to you and they want you to make a video, um, can probably charge a little bit more than you would from like a smaller indie mom and pop shop, I would assume. Um, I haven't honestly, it hasn't been the case with like music artists for me, at least. Like when I get an artist with an indie artist with 5 grand, or a label with a 5 grand, I think that budget will pretty much stretch the same way. Um, but yeah, this is a really interesting perspective. Um, so in terms of like community building, um, how do you approach that whole process? Building your community on the platform. What are some tips that you might have to that end?
Probably to reach out to other creators who know what they're doing, and like, just shoot your shot and be friends with them, because I've texted people and I never thought they would respond to me, but they did. And it was actually pretty great. And you never know like what cool things are going on, like VidCon or Pride Month or whatever. You never know anything until someone posts on their story that they got tickets to go, or that they want someone to come like in a group with them and they all of a sudden invite you. It's just like having friends in the TikTok community is definitely worthwhile.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree with like having friends in the community. And then also like for like building a community, I feel like there's a lot of apps that are on the rise that are like, oh, like exclusive club, like exclusive content. And I don't know, I've been still trying to nail it down, like how to like build like a strong community, but I'm kind of starting to like, I'm leaning towards like starting like a Discord, and then like being like active in there and then like being able to chat with everyone and like build like an actual like community of people, is like a goal I've set for myself.
That's awesome. So like building a Discord and then having conversations with people on there daily is something that you're definitely like working towards.
Yeah, and like having like the members of the Discord kind of like match the niche of content I'm putting out.
That's awesome.
Um,
Super interesting. Um, so you mentioned a little bit about like if you don't like the song or you think the song is not doing so hot, you would like essentially look into charging people a little bit more, Mason. Um, what kind of like metrics do you look at, or do you even look at metrics in that front, or is it just like, well, you know what, like I don't like country music, like they're trying to get me to do a country song, and
yeah. Like which type of metrics? Like metrics from the artist or like metrics like on my page?
metrics on like the sound maybe, or like do you even look at that, or do you just kind of like whatever with
Yeah,
that?
I mean like if the song is like already popping, like it's gonna integrate well with my page. Like it doesn't really matter. Like I would have like done the song. Like I would have made a video to the song anyway. So like I'll probably like charge like a very low rate. But if it's just like some like random like song I've never heard of with like 5 videos, then like maybe I would charge a little bit more to like get like some initial like traction going for the song.
Cool. um do you guys like generally speaking, do you think that the artist should do the legwork a little bit before they even like start working with influencers, or just like immediately go off the races and straight off the bat like just book a bunch of influencers to do some stuff with the song?
I feel like booking it with most influencers, like to post on a certain time and date, like give them like a week to like make the content or something, and then post it on that date, then people will start to realize, oh, my favorite influencer is doing this, might as well do it too. And that's what happened with like that dumb trend. They had all these influencers post on the same day, and then it became a trend. And it was all 2020 trends that we all brought back. So
Nice. Yeah, that's great advice, honestly. Like having people post in like a like kind of like a time slot. That's really a really powerful advice in my opinion. What do you think, Mason?
Yeah, I think that like being very strict will like bring up some like issues. So it's like if you need everyone to post on the same day, it's like a little bit like less organic. Um, and I really like when like the ad is like very well like integrated. So it's like you can't even notice like it's an advertisement, and I think it'll perform better that way. Um, but like if you're rolling it out like over a certain amount of time, I think it's like fine. And I don't really know like how much work like the artist should be doing, like going out there and like DMing people and being like, oh, like use my song. Like I think it's like kind of like the business side, like the management's job to do like a lot of the marketing and stuff.
Cool. Definitely. In my opinion, the artist should at least like try to create like videos with their sound and like push it, because eventually like um the responsibility to being successful for every person in their own lives is theirs. Like it's not like the manager's 100% like, yeah, the manager can help open doors, but like um yeah, I totally agree with both of those aspects. Let me double check, because I did have a couple of other questions from TikTok. I just gotta double check them. And so if you had to start your fan base from scratch today, based on the knowledge you've acquired, what would you do and how would you go about it?
Well, I've been starting my YouTube channel, so I basically started from scratch today. But I just been posting, like Mason has said, like consistently. And I actually have to make a YouTube video today so I can post it on Saturday. But I've just been trying to post consistently and try to ask the audience as well what they would like to see from me, because I have a whole bunch of different content, but I'd like to see what the audience picks out more.
That's super insightful. Asking people what they want and kind of like speaking to your core followers or your first fans and just like really just trying to get questions from them. Super insightful. Thanks for that. Mason, what do you think? If you had to
Yeah.
start it all over again.
So yeah, like Sierra said, I'm also starting my YouTube channel again, so I kind of am like starting from scratch. But the biggest thing, like if I was like really trying to get like 0 to 100K, my strategy would be like literally post like 6 times a day, and have like every video optimized for the algorithm. So like I would like remove like a lot of like the extra like fluff in the videos and just have it be like getting viewers to watch the whole video through, and like have like some like controversial stuff, getting people to comment, and then like just getting like a ton of traction that way. And like having like really like viral video ideas. And that's like the strategy I would use if I was like really trying to grow 0 to like 100K in like a month.
And you think that's still doable in like TikTok's current climate, like 0 to 100K in a month?
Yeah, I mean, like depending on like the content, I think so. Also, like I would definitely hire like an editor if I was trying to like really go. I'd hire people to help me like build a team around it. And like if I was like really trying to like go crazy with it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how valuable like 100K would be like in a month on TikTok. I don't know if it'd be worth like the whole grind, but that's like the strategy I would kind of use.
Yeah, I mean, I personally agree with you. I've seen accounts that have grown from like 0 to 100K within a month. How valuable it is, I think that's all like a question of like long term. What do you do with your followers? Like long term, how do you approach brands? Like, do you have like a sales funnel where you're like trying to bring brands in? Like, if you have like, for example, like a specific niche, like let's say you're a creator and you create, I don't know, job interview videos that make fun of like interviewers. I'm sure that there's like ZipRecruiter and LinkedIn and a bunch of like recruitment sites that would be happy to pay you to make like funny content that just showcases their stuff. Um, there is actually like one guy who's really funny and makes like literally like interview videos. I watched one of his videos this morning and I was like, oh man, it's hilarious. He'll like get like these job interviews and he'll completely fuck them up, like talk about like stuff that doesn't make sense. And I'm just like always happy to watch his videos.
Is it a skit? Like is he actually like going
No,
in?
he's actually in like in these like videos and well where he'll like interview with like a big company. He'll say, yeah man, like I'm just trying to get this job because like my dog died yesterday and my grandpa like ended up riding a horse and like all these like weird things that are like, what the fuck are you saying? And people are like, well, you will have to go through a drug test. And he's like, so I start yesterday. Yeah.
That's good.
Um, yeah. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much. Unless there are any other questions from the audience, any like closing argument, closing statements that you guys want to make, anything else you want to share with the audience?
Just be yourself. Just be yourself, because you never know that one funny video that only you think is funny, 10 million other people could think are funny. So
Love it. Cool. Mason?
I'm gonna have to agree. I think being yourself is key. Be also like being a good person. Is like a good rule of thumb, I think, in all life. So just be a good person and everything will work out for you.
100,000%. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna just kind of like show people, show people Push Talk's platform. You guys are welcome to stick around, but we're gonna go back to the presentation. Thank you so much, guys.
of course, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, so thank you guys so much for being here, and thanks again for Sierra and Mason. Was such a pleasure having them. We're gonna real quick, right quick, we're gonna do this. How did I do it before? There it is. So how our creators work and our creator marketplace works. We have a creator marketplace. Essentially, it's like a 1, 2, 3, like literally 3 steps. You choose a creator based on like you can view a bunch of their videos. You can view a bunch of analytics from them. You send them an offer. It's a really quick process. We'll go through it in a second. Once they accept that offer, your card will be charged automatically. And then after that, you just start your trend with your choice of with creators of your choice on TikTok. And let me just get that going for you so you can see how exactly that works. So once you log into Push Talk, which is a pretty fast process. If you guys don't have a Push Talk account, go get it. It's free. So yeah, that's essentially, you log in, you land on the Find Creators page, and you can see a bunch of creators here that you can work with, and you can literally book campaigns with them. For example, if you want to book this campaign right here, we can do that. The videos usually load a little bit faster, but let's say I've decided that I want to work with 666, called Claire 666. I can just enter a campaign name here. We'll call it webinar. Can have a video here, an audio here that we already preloaded. And then we can set up a deadline for that creator to post on that date. Do not steal my credit card information. And after that, I'm good to go to start booking them. Once I hit here, it literally sends over an invite to the creator, to their inbox, and they can either choose to accept or reject that offer. And then they just post it onto their TikTok. Please note that this kind of process is very easy to do, but also like please note that not all creators are going to accept your offer. Unfortunately, we can't like really guarantee that people are going to be hopping on your sounds, just like you heard from like Mason. Like, if the sound is not popping, doesn't make sense for me, I'm probably not gonna like be super excited about it. So I want you to think about different ways you can make your sound appealing to the creator when they first kind of hop on and try to look at your sound. So like maybe have a couple of videos of you on the sound before you even send it out to creators, so that that way they can accept your offer and really kind of like hop on it and be happy about it. Yeah. Are there any questions about about the platform or about influencer marketing overall, happy to answer at this point. And we hear the crickets. All right, doesn't sound like I've pretty much covered everything. I want to thank you guys for being here, and I also want to mention that we're going to have another one of these in a couple of weeks, in 2 weeks. We usually have them on Wednesdays, but let's see, maybe we'll have it on Thursday that time, just so we can have a little bit of variety in our lives. So thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you all on Push Talk. Rock and roll.